Welcome to the deep dive. So we have a really fascinating stack of sources in front of us today,
We really do.
and they all seem to center on this one universal frustration. You know, that huge gap between studying English for years and then actually being able to speak it.
It's such a real hurdle. And what's interesting is that the sources we looked at, they all point to this single sort of hidden problem.
Which is,
Most learners, they don't actually speak English. They translate English.
that is the core distinction, isn't it? And if you're listening, you know exactly what we mean. You hear a question, but then
Then your brain kicks into this whole internal process.
it's this three-step thing. You hear the English, you convert it into your native language, then you try to build the perfect response, think about all the grammar rules.
And then you translate that back into English to say it out loud. And by the time you've done all that,
Conversation's moved on. It's gone.
exactly, that delay, that mental buffering is what is just killing your fluency. It's because translation is slow, but conversation,
Yeah.
it's lightning fast.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive. We're synthesizing these sources to fix that delay.
And we're going to define fluency not as, getting everything 100% perfect.
No, that's the grammar police talking.
Right. We're defining it as flow. Our whole goal here is to find the key to unlock the fluency that, honestly, is probably already inside
I'm
you.
just stuck behind that translation detour.
We're moving from just studying English to actually building English reflexes. It's about connection and speed, not about that perfect accuracy that just makes you freeze up.
Let's start right there then. Let's unpack that translation trap and how to build those reflexes. I mean, just thinking about that three-step process is exhausting.
It is, and it's why people stutter or feel like they're fighting their own brain. We think about a fluent speaker. If you ask them, what did you do yesterday?
They don't stop to think about the past simple tense.
Not at all. They just pull out a ready sentence, a response that's already formed, and they just deliver it. It's automatic, a reflex.
It's just like in your native language. I mean, if someone asks me, how are you? I don't think about subject-verb agreement.
You just answer. It's that immediate, thoughtless response we need to build in English.
So you need to build up that muscle memory.
Absolutely. And that brings us to, I think, the most foundational tip from the sources. And that is, stop learning single words.
I think this is where so many classes and apps get it wrong. They just give you a list of nouns.
Exactly. So you learn the word tired. But then in a real conversation, you still have to figure out how to build the sentence. I am tired.
And that little pause, that moment of construction, is what slows you down.
It's what creates the stutter. So the rule is you start learning in chunks.
Not words. Chunks.
Short, complete sentences.
Yeah.
Common phrases. Instead of problem, learn, I have a problem. These chunks become your ready sentences. You don't build them. You just grab them.
And how do you practice that?
Well, one of the simplest techniques is what the sources call the Think in English challenge. You narrate your own life in your head.
Even if it sounds, I don't know, a bit silly.
Especially if it sounds silly. You're making coffee, you think, I am pouring the water, the cup is hot. You're forcing your brain to connect the action directly to the English words.
Ah, so you're bypassing that loop through your native language. You're cutting out the middleman.
Precisely. You're making the language immediate, not theoretical. Your brain learns by doing.
Okay, so that foundation is laid. You're thinking in chunks. Where do we go next? What's the practical roadmap to get from studying English to actually living it?
Right, so the roadmap means we have to sort of change our relationship with the big pillars of language learning. Grammar, vocab, all that.
Let's start with the big one, the one that causes the most fear. Grammar.
The myth is that you have to memorize the entire grammar book before you're allowed to speak.
Which is, frankly, terrifying, and it just makes you freeze.
It's the biggest fluency killer there is. You're in a job interview and you're stuck for 5 seconds thinking, wait, is this present perfect or past simple?
And in that pause, you've lost the connection. You've lost the flow.
So the sources all say you have to treat grammar as a tool, not a jail.
Okay, but if I don't know the rules, won't I just sound, wrong?
Well, here's the distinction. Grammar is amazing for editing, for writing emails, for understanding structure. But for speaking, your number one priority is communication.
Fluency first, accuracy second.
100%. Think about this example. If you say, yesterday I go to the store. Is the grammar perfect? No.
But did the other person understand you?
Yes. The communication was successful. The message landed. Don't let a small mistake stop the entire sentence. Good enough is good enough for conversation.
That's a huge weight off your shoulders, honestly. Okay, what about content? Vocabulary.
Another trap. So many learners try to memorize these like academic words to sound smart.
Saying, I am feeling quite melancholic today.
Well, all you need to say is, I'm sad.
Yeah.
Native speakers use simple words really, really well.
Yeah.
But here's the secret sauce to sounding fluent.
Okay, I'm listening.
Phrasal verbs.
Ugh. Okay. The two-word combos like hand in or go on, they're tricky because you can't translate them literally.
But they are the glue of conversational English. If you say submit, you sound like a textbook. If you say hand in, you sound like a person.
And instead of trying to remember a long word like continue,
You just use the two-word chunk, go on. It's faster, it's more natural. Another one, figure out, instead of find a solution to.
so focusing on the top 100 or so phrasal verbs would give you a bigger fluency boost than memorizing 500 rare adjectives.
A much bigger boost. Now, what about the sound of the language? Phonetics.
Right, and I think most people hear phonetics and immediately think, oh no, I have to get rid of my accent.
That's a total myth. The sources are very clear on this. Your accent is your identity. Don't erase it. The point of phonetics for fluency is about something else.
The intonation and stress.
Music of the language. A less fluent speaker sounds robotic. Hello, how are you today? Every word gets the same stress.
Like a metronome.
Exactly. But a fluent speaker links words together. They speak in sound blocks. We don't say want to, we say wanna. We don't say going to, we say gonna.
So you have to mimic the music, not just the words.
Yes. And the best way to practice that music is a technique called shadowing.
Which is kind of like karaoke for speaking, right?
Yeah, it's a perfect way to put it. You find a podcast or a video with subtitles. You listen to one short sentence, you pause it, and then you repeat it.
But not just the words.
No, everything. The same speed, the same emotion, the same intonation. You're training the muscles in your mouth. It's like going to the gym for your tongue.
Just 10 minutes a day could build that muscle memory.
Absolutely. Okay, so final part of the roadmap, immersion.
And this is where people say, well, I can't be fluent because I don't live in the UK or the US.
That barrier just doesn't exist anymore. The internet lets you build your own English world right at home.
So things like changing your phone's language to English.
Watching Netflix with English subtitles, listening to English podcasts. But here's the most important part of that.
What's that?
You have to consume content you actually enjoy.
Because if it's boring, you'll just switch back to your native language.
You'll get mentally fatigued. If you love cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If you love gaming, watch streamers. Pleasure creates persistence.
Use what you love as the engine. That makes perfect sense. And what about for practice?
Record yourself.
Yeah.
Just use your phone. When you listen back, you'll hear exactly where your flow breaks down. It's instant feedback.
That brings us perfectly to the final section then, targeting those specific flow killers, the common mistakes that happen because of direct translation.
Yes. Let's go through a few of the biggest translation traps, because just being aware of them is the first step. All right, hit me with a big one. What's a classic?
I go to home.
Right. You hear that all the time. The fix is just, I go home.
And the reason it's a trap is because in a lot of languages, you need that preposition. But in English, home is special. It acts as an adverb here. It already answers the question where. So the to is redundant.
Okay, that makes sense. What's next? I am agree. The fix is simply, I agree. This happens because in some languages, agreeing is a state of being, so you use the verb to be.
But in English, agree is an action verb.
Exactly. You wouldn't say I am sleep, you say I sleep. Same logic.
Got it. What about plurals? I hear people is nice a lot.
The fix is, of course, people are nice. People forget that people is already the plural of person, so it needs the plural verb are.
Okay, how about this one? Married with.
The fix is married to. It's just a structural thing in English. The action is directional. You get married to someone.
Right, not with them in that context. Okay, what about a feeling-based one? The confusion between bored and boring.
Classic. The fix is, I am bored because the movie is boring. The rule is simple.
The ed ending is how you feel.
And the ing ending describes the thing that's causing the feeling. If you say, I am boring, you're saying you are the cause of the boredom.
A very easy mistake to make, but yeah, pretty awkward. Okay, last one. The double past tense, like bear.
The fix, I didn't go. The reason is the did rule. In English, you only mark the past tense once. The word did already does that job.
So the main verb snaps back to its basic form.
It snaps back to go or see or eat. Once you get that, your speech becomes so much smoother.
That rundown is so helpful. It really shows how those little translation habits can trip you up.
So we've covered a lot. We've defined fluency as flow, not perfection. We've given you the roadmap, from chunking to shadowing.
The knowledge is all here, now it's about action. So we want to leave you with a simple, effective challenge to put all this into practice. Let's call it the SpeakFlow Challenge.
It's very straightforward. For the next 7 days, just talk to yourself out loud in English for 2 minutes a day.
That's it.
That's it. Narrate what you're doing while you're driving, making dinner, whatever. The goal isn't perfection. It's just to get comfortable hearing your own voice using English.
Making it real and immediate.
Exactly. And we want to leave you with one final thought that really ties this all together.
Go for it.
You don't need to wait for confidence to speak. It's actually the other way around.
You need to speak to build confidence.
Waiting until you feel ready is the biggest trap of all. Confidence is the result of action. It's not the prerequisite.
So the takeaway is, stop calculating, stop translating, just speak. Think less, and your fluency will finally take off.